excellent we are as a people and our achievements as a people. Don't qualify it by giving it black excellence. I'd like to say excellence by people who happen to be black, if you will. I'm a black lawyer. I'm a great black lawyer. No, I'm not. I'm a great lawyer that happens to be black because I think rhetoric and words matter, if you will. And so the museum captures our life story from slavery, racial oppression, civil rights, and to where we are now, still struggling with slavery running in our blood and still struggling to achieve unity as a people, but more importantly, to achieve broad excellence in all of our communities. We're not there yet, but we still live with racism. We still live with the badges, if you will, or the bandages of slavery, not only in our hearts and minds and souls, but it runs in our blood from our parents and ancestors. It's still there. We can't outrun it. And so, but America cannot be who we want her to be. She is who she is. But she can't be who we want her to be if she doesn't tell the true story of slavery and how she has grown from it and how we have moved on from it. And in the article, I talk about the Holocaust being required reading and a required course, not in Israel, but in Germany. It's illegal to have signs and to say hi Hitler and anything related to the Nazis. It's illegal. You can get arrested for it because Germany understands it had to move and grow away from World War II, and the only way they were going to grow and heal was to be honest about that part of their history, right, and to learn from it and to move forward from it with intentionality. And America wants to move on from slavery and racism, right, with no accountability for it. We've done enough. We had a black president. We got Oprah Winfrey. We have Michael Jackson. That's more than enough. We are now, all of us, operating in an equal society, a colorblind society. Many of those who suffer from white privilege, and many of those who are taught themselves that this is okay, that we are on equal footing now. Every man for himself just is telling themselves an untruth. They're not looking at the socioeconomic and health disparities between our communities. When someone like me can be stopped by the police and accosted by the police and handcuffed at my home when my alarm goes off and guns put to my head, that's my lived experience, and yet I'm living the American dream. I should not be the exception to the rule. I should be the rule. The young kid who grows up in Southeast Washington, race is the tie that binds me to him. Economics may separate us, but our experience with the police is very similar. Something really wrong with that. That's fundamentally wrong. That young kid ought not be afraid of the police, and neither should I. But think about it. We're both afraid of the police, and we got a good reason to be afraid of them.
And Scott, that raises a really interesting question because I'm just finishing up Mark Whitaker's book, the Afterlife of Malcolm X, right? And so we start talking about and looking at the results of what happens when a community, when a society cuts off access to your history, access to who you are and where you come from. And the question becomes, who are you? Do you believe that even though the president and his folks are limiting access, getting stuff out of museums, banning books, pushing the ban of particularly black books in a lot of the school system, how should our community be responding to that? That absence of that, how should we be responding to it?
Well, we certainly have to have a consciousness about it. So many of us in our society believe we can weather Donald Trump and we can come back from it. We just got to vote, and the Democrats got to get organized. That's just simply not enough, man. The whitewashing of black history and the banning of books that don't just help black people know who they are, they help white America know who they are, where they've been, and where they want to go. You know, Janetta Cole often says that, what is it about generational racism that is upon us? That when none of us, black, white, yellow, or brown, are born with a racism gene, and yet and still racism persists on a generational basis. How is this? Because we're teaching our children. People that don't look like me are teaching their children, and their communities are teaching them about racism. Why is it that a young kid can use the N-word in elementary school or grade school? Where is he getting that from? The bastions of racism, even at an early age. And so our history, learning our history and not whitewashing it, not only serves a telling lesson for not just black people, but all people in America. You know, we're all immigrants except black people. We all came here for a better life. We were forced here in chains and what have you. But America is better when it tells the truth. And when you drive by the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., I must tell you, one thing I'm very happy about and proud about is it is not surrounded by black people going in and out of the museum. It's surrounded by white folks, brown folks, yellow folks, all of us, a diverse group of people who attend this, and all are equally moved by it. You know, all are equally moved by it. And so, whether it's the Holocaust Museum or it's the African American Museum, the story of our struggles are similar, not the same, but similar, and have to be told for us to be a country that we all want us to be, but has never been the case.
Wow. And Scott, go ahead, Barbara.
No, please, go ahead, Daryl.
Scott, one of the things that Barbara and I have been doing for the last month or so is that we've been trying to encourage black lawyers to get involved in this movement and the pushback to what's happening, not simply to the black community, but to the legal system in general, and what's happening with the DEI and the push against DEI. You know, I wanted to take my hat off and take our hat off and salute you, because you're one of the few lawyers with a large law firm that's willing to put their shoulder to the press, their hand to the plow, and push back against what's happening. So we certainly wanted to salute you, but we know that you've got a word for some of the other lawyers that are out there that are saying, I'm afraid to put my neck out there, because there's a saying that I, and Barbara knows what I'm going to say. There's a saying that I like to say that just because you're afraid to put your neck out doesn't mean they won't cut your throat. So what message do you have for those folks, Scott?
Say that. You said they mean they won't cut your throat. My mother would say they're gonna cut your throat first.
Right.
They're gonna cut your throat first. We're gonna start with you.
Come on now.
That's right. That's right. Add that to that piece. They gonna cut your throat first. Man, I speak truth to power. I generate a lot of business for my law firm, but my law firm knows where I stand on this issue, and thank goodness, as a firm, they stand with me, and most of the individual lawyers that I work with stand with me, and so, I tell my friends who don't look like me or don't have melanin in their skin, I want you to be more than anti-racist. I want you to be anti-racism. And they say, what do you mean by that? I say, when you hear racism, where it rears its ugly head, in your social settings, in your business settings, in your political settings, in your church settings, right? I want you to stand up against racism. You don't have to be a racist. You don't have to use the N-word. But when you hear it and see it, I need you to stand up to it. Not me, because we're only going to go further in this country and eliminate generational racism when our white brothers and sisters stand up and say enough is enough and are willing to act and correct those around them in their communities who feel comfortable because of their white privilege by saying racist or anti-Semitic things. And I say this for black people, too. When I have a group of black men and I'm socializing and they say something racist or anti-Semitic, I correct them, too. Right?
Good.
Or they have to leave
Yeah.
my home. Because as my father said, you're no better than them if you go act like that.
Amen. I just can't begin to thank you enough, Scott, for being on our show today. Let's just talk now about what we want people to do. Folks, today is National Call-In Day. National Call-In Day. This is the day we want you to call the U.S. senators and tell them stop. Vote no on the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill. We talked about it. We're going to talk about it some more next week, but we want everyone to know that this bill will destroy many people's ability to register and vote. So it is critical that you call 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. We also want to make sure that you sign the petition regarding Scott's major, beautiful article. There's actually a petition out there where if you're worried about the Smithsonian, you can sign it. Over 20,000 people have already signed the petition. You can go to America's History, SOS, Save Our Smithsonian, America's History, SOS.org. America's History, SOS.org. And sign that petition. Be part of this. We'll see you in the streets on September the 16th for that, September 6th for that major march. What else do you want to tell people, Scott, in your closing remarks, your 1-minute close? What do you want to tell this nation that you want people to do?
Well, we got to appeal to their consciousness for sure. You know, there's good in all of us. Whoever you are in this country, there's good in you. And you have to tap that source and live that source of consciousness. You do. My Republican brothers, my Republican sisters, black, white, yellow, brown, they are fundamentally goodness in all of us, and we have to manifest that and fight the negative and fight what Trumpism and MAGAism represents. We got to get in the streets for sure. Black lawyers, all lawyers need to be in the courts fighting. He's come after law firms and stuff, and I know it's difficult. Self-preservation is always important, but you gotta stand up for something. And as a result, we need the Article 3 courts are supportive of us. The Supreme Court hasn't been, but it takes protest, right? It takes the legal protest. And it takes businesses and community groups to lock arms and to say we're gonna make this country better. And if we do that, it ain't hard. I mean, it ain't easy, but all of us got to do that, and then it's going to be better. It's a formula for success.
Thank you so much. A. Scott Bolden, y'all. A. Scott Bolden with Reed Smith. Thank you so much, Scott, for being with us today. Folks, you know our message. Get off the sidewalk. Get into the streets, get in some good trouble, necessary trouble, and let America know you matter. Until next Tuesday, noon, Eastern Standard Time. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
The preceding program was paid for by Barbara Arnwine.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000.
Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief took care of Eric's problem.
And now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-569-4435. 800-569-4435.
Optima Tax Relief.
You've built something real. A business rooted right here in the DMV.
So why risk your whole budget on search and social ads? Putting your business on the air right here on this station, reaching real customers has never been easier. Our AI-powered ad manager is fast, affordable, and puts you in control. Reach real people. Get real results. Go to Urban One on tap and use promo code INTRO10 and get 10% off your first campaign. Keep it real with Urban One on tap.